Hello students, today we want to discuss about wave optics. Wave optics, complete lecture of wave optics in different parts. Okay, first, what is the difference between geometrical optics and wave optics? The difference between geometrical optics and wave optics. Okay, first of all, we think about geometrical optics. Geometrical optics. Geometrical optics is one which deals with light is in the form of ray. That means in a homogeneous medium, light moves in straight line path, rectilinear path, straight line path. That is concerned to geometrical optics. In geometrical optics, we can explain with the laws of geometrical optics reflection, refraction, and total internal reflection. With the geometrical optics, we explain reflection, refraction, and total internal reflection. But whereas interference, diffraction, polarization, and photoelectric effect is not explained by means of ray optics known as geometrical optics, then you require one more analysis to analyze these phenomena, that is known as wave optics. Wave optics successfully explains the interference, diffraction, and diffraction. Polarization is explained by using electromagnetic wave nature. That also wave nature only. Electromagnetic wave nature, right? So that is polarization. Okay, that's what. Clear, I think so. Sir, how we know the nature of light is wave nature or ray nature? That is one of the major important thing. Condition for wave optics, condition for geometrical optics. Condition for geometrical optics is this one. If the size of the object which is light interacting should be more than wavelength, that is b square by l lambda is very much greater than 1, then geometrical optics is applicable. Interacting object size is very much greater than the wavelength of nature of light used, then the optics applicable is geometrical optics or ray optics. Next one, I think so you can understand. B square by L lambda is nearly equal to 1, or B square by L lambda is very much smaller than 1. Then also wave optics is applicable. Here B is interacting object size, lambda is wavelength, L is the distance traveled. You know very well, I think so. Okay. This is condition for wave optics. This is condition for geometrical optics. Wave phantom. The wave nature of light was explained by Huygens on the basis of wave front nature. What is wave front? wave front is an imaginary curve. Imaginary curve. Path followed by the points which are equidistant and equiphase from the source. Once again, a wave front is an imaginary curve. Path followed by the points which are equidistant and equiphase from the source. I think so you can understand. Equidistance and equiphase. Sometimes we can say like this: the locus of the points which are equidistant from the source having same phase difference forms the wavefront. How to construct the wavefront? This is the source. Right. Join the, let it be R is the point. Construct the imaginary curve which is having the radius R equidistance. This imaginary curve is called, this locus of imaginary curve is called wavefront. Right. According to Huygens, wavefronts is divided into two types based on nature of the source. He divided the wavefronts into two parts. One is point source. S is the point source or spherical source. Then the source is a spherical or point source. The wavefronts are spherical. Like this. Spherical wavefronts. If the source is linear, then the wavefront is cylindrical. If the source is linear, then the wavefront is cylindrical. When source is at finite distance, very important point. Source is nearer to me. If the source is point source or spherical source, the wavefronts are spherical. If the source is linear, then I am going to get cylindrical wavefront. Next one, if the source is at infinite distance, like sun or moon or stars, far distance from us, in that case, either source may be point or linear point source or linear source. The wavefronts are plane wavefronts. Irrespective of type of the source, the wavefronts are plane wavefronts. Either it may be sources spherical or linear source. The wavefront is plane wavefront. This is about type of wavefronts introduced by that of Huygens. Okay. S is the source of light. Equidistance points from the source is locus is wavefront. How the wavefront advancing further? You may get it out like this. Velocity of light is c, and the time taken is, let it be ct. Next, take the radius ct distance and extend this. Ct is the distance. You can draw the another wavefront. So this another wavefront is like this. Each and every point on the wavefront acts as the secondary source of light. Each and every point on the wavefront acts as the secondary source of light. That means secondary source also eject the light which is equal to the velocity of light. That means you can understand like this. Each and every point on the wavefront acts as a secondary source of light. That source also produces the wave whose velocity is equal to velocity of light. Next one, how the wavefront interacts with the different surfaces. For example, this is a plane wavefront, straight wavefront, incident on a convex mirror. What is the nature of the wave after reflection? I think so you can understand. The wavefront is like this. It comes first, later like this, and like this. So the wavefront nature is once again convex. This is after reflection. After reflection. After reflection. Next, you may get it out like this. Suppose the plane wavefront is incident on the prism. Observe it. This is the prism. The basic nature of the prism is rotation of light. Rotation of light. This is the light ray which is traveling with less thickness in the medium. So it comes first. So the wavefront is rotated like this. This is the wavefront in the prism. Whereas in convex lens, in the convex lens, the interaction of the plane wavefront with the surface is like this. Like this. That is, after refraction, the wavefront becomes like this. Like this. Because the thickness of the lens is more here. It travels more distance in the medium. So it comes with lesser velocity and it takes more time to come out. Next. Concave mirror. I think so you can understand. Concave mirror interaction with the plane surface is like this. Plane wavefront is like this. After reflection, the wavefront nature is like this. This is the wavefront nature of reflecting. So this is about interaction of wavefront with different optical devices. Next is concerned to principle of superposition. Interference means superimposition of two light waves, two or more than light waves. Superimposition of two or more light waves is called interference. In interference, the working principle is superimposition principle. What is superimposition principle? Superimposition principle. Superimposition principle. That says resultant displacement is equal to YR equal to vector sum of individual displacements I1 bar plus I2 bar plus so on. So on. This we call it as superimposition principle with displacement. Don't forget it. Superimposition principle is concerned to vector displacement, vector condition, vectors. Right. So I am having two waves. How to superimpose the two waves? If I superimpose, what factors will affect? Frequency, wavelength, velocity, so many factors of physical factors of light is there. Which parameter is going to be affect if I add the two waves? That we have to know. Right. First one more. Interference of two waves. Sir, I am not thinking about coherent sources or like that. Any generalized waves. Right. Y equal to two waves superimposition. Two waves superimposition. Let us consider one wave is Y1 equal to A1 sin omega t plus phi 1. Let it be phi 1. Y2 equal to A2 sin omega t plus phi 2. Yes, here A1, A2 are amplitudes, different amplitudes. A1, A2 are different amplitudes. Phases are different, phi 1 and phi 2. But frequency is same. I am taking. Frequency I am considering it as same. Actually, you may get it out like this. Sir, wave equation means y is function of r and t, position and time. That is y equal to a sin omega t minus kx or plus or minus kx. Sir, in your equations, where is the x term? Sir, it is difficult to measure two things with an accuracy of 100% by Heisenberg conservatory principle. We can't measure the accuracy of position as well as time. So for that, we are fixing x equal to 0 at a particular position I am imagining, sir. Then y1 equal to a sin omega t plus I1, a2 sin omega t plus phi2 is the two-wave equation at a particular position I am observing, at a particular place I am observing. Right. Then y is equal to vector sum y1 bar plus y2 bar. That is a1 sin omega t plus phi 1 plus a2 sin omega t plus phi 2. Sir, you can do, I think so, sin of a plus b, sin of a plus b is a lengthy process. Why I should approach the lengthy process? Simple process is there. Amplitude is a vector quantity. Amplitude is a vector quantity. Then we know how to add the two vectors by using a parallelogram law of addition of vectors. If I represent these two waves like this, that is A1 is one vector having phase angle is phi 1. A2 is another amplitude, maybe greater or lesser, I don't know. Anything we can take. Phase angle is phi 2. That means you can understand. Phi 2 is greater than phi 1. Phi 2 is greater than phi 1. Resultant of these two vectors, according to parallelogram law of addition of vectors, are equal to root over p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta is the parallelogram law of addition of vectors. Parallelogram law of addition of vectors. If I add these two vectors like this, are equal to root over a1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 a2 cos phi 1 minus phi 2. I think so all of you know about this. Theta is angle between the two vectors. Angle between these two amplitudes is not phi 1 and phi 2. I think so you can understand. Phi 2 minus phi 1. Phi 2 minus phi 2. So that only I take it. Next, I think so you can understand. Square of the amplitude r square equal to a1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 a2, a1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 a2 cos phi 1 minus phi 2. Children, I think so you understand very easily. a1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 a2 cos phi 1 minus phi 2 is the term after squaring the parallelogram law condition. Next, I think so you can understand. Square of amplitude is proportional to intensity. Then I equal to I1 plus I2 plus 2 root I1 I2 cos phi 1 minus phi 2. This is the resultant intensity expression. I1 plus I2 plus 2 root I1 I2 cos phi 1 minus phi 2. Now we got the expression like this. Intensity I equal to I1 plus I2 plus 2 root I1 I2 cos phi 1 minus phi 2. Cos phi 1 minus phi 2. Phi 1 minus phi 2. Here I taken as phi 2 is greater than phi 1. But it may be phi 1 minus phi 2. Difference. Which one is greater? That you have to take. Difference. Phi 1 minus phi 2 is called phase difference. Phase difference. Phase means nothing but angle. Angle difference. In terms of phase difference, delta phi equal to phi 1 minus phi 2. That is equal to 2 pi by lambda into delta x. In terms of path difference, 2 pi by lambda into delta x. Path difference. In terms of time difference, here I maintained as time constant. We can write like this also, 2 pi by capital T into delta T also. This is in terms of path difference, it is in terms of time interval. Here T is constant, here X is constant. Take care. Right. Sir, okay. Why you are calculated this value? If two waves are superposed, something will get result now. What is the resultant? What is the resultant? Which parameters are going to be effect there? frequency won't change. Observe it. Frequency won't change. But amplitude, intensity changes. Amplitude, intensity changes. Automatically we get like this. Sir, intensity varies. Intensity varies means how it varies. Where it is maximum, where it is minimum. Where it is maximum, where it is minimum. So I am thinking like this, sir. Maximum, Imax, intensity maxima equal to, that is, intensity becomes maxima, I1 plus I2, 2 root I1 I2, 2 root I1 I2, when cos phi 1 minus phi 2, difference amount, phi 1 minus phi 2 should be 1. Maxima. Cos value maximum is what? 1. Mathematics teacher say with you so many times, I think so. General term for maxima, cos 0. 1. I should get 1. Cos 0, cos 2 pi, cos 4 pi. That means even multiples of pi is giving cos value positive. Then that is equal to cos 2n pi. Cos 2n pi gives the condition for maximum. Compare these two terms. Delta phi equal to 2n pi. N takes values 1, 2, 3, so on. N takes values 0, 1, 2, 3, so on. 0, 1, 2, 3, so on. Next you may get it out like this. Imax is how much? Imax equal to, that is I1 plus I2 under root whole square gives the maximum. Is root I1 plus root I2, 2 root I1 I2. I can write like this, root I1 whole square plus root 2 I2 whole square plus 2 root I1 I2. I think so you can understand. A plus B whole square, root I1 plus root I2 whole square. Or we can write like this, A1 square under root plus A2 square under root whole square. That we can write like this in terms of amplitude, A1 plus A2 whole square. Then automatically your mind says with you, sir, condition for maximum phase difference is delta equal to 2n pi. In terms of path difference is what? That is delta phi equal to 2 pi by lambda into delta x. I want delta x term. That is 2n pi equal to 2 pi by lambda into delta x. 2 pi gets cancelled. 2 pi gets cancelled. Delta x equal to n lambda is condition for max. Integral multiple of lambda gives delta x. Third bright band, third maxima, 3 lambda. Fourth maxima, 4 lambda. Phase angle if you ask, third phase angle, third bright band phase angle, 6 pi. Fourth bright band, 8 pi. Just keep the value of n there, you will get it. Next. So once you listen, condition for max, then what about min? Min how to get? I minima equal, can I write here please? I minima equal to root I1 plus I2 plus minus 2 root I1 at. When it is possible, cos phi 1 difference phi 2 is equal to minus 1. Minus 1. Even multiple gives plus 1. Odd multiples gives minus 1. Then that it is cos 2n minus 1 into pi gives the condition for min values. Min value. So I think so you can understand. Delta phi equal to 2n minus 1 into pi. N takes values 1, 2, 3, so on. Already I fixed 0. 0 is maxima. Then 0 I don't get it is maxima. Minima sir. Automatically n takes 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. Next I think so you can understand. Path difference delta x equal to, you can calculate delta phi equal to 2 pi by lambda into delta x. 2n minus 1 into lambda by 2 gives condition for min. Condition for min. Then I minima equal to min sir. From this concept, I minima equal to root I1 minus root I2 whole square, or that is equal to A1 minus A2 whole square. Sir, number of times repeated question in the old JEE mains papers, even one time is given in the advanced paper also sir. Imax to I min, That you can understand very easily. Imax by Imin equal to, that is A1 plus A2 by A1 minus A2 whole square. Imax by Imin equal to A1 plus A2 whole square by A1 minus A2 whole square. That gives the minimum value. Max to minimum situation. A simple conceptual based example we want to do. Look at it please. Y1 equal to A sin omega t. Y2 is equal to 2A sin omega t plus 5. They ask us like this. Maxima to minima ratio. So, according to nothing is there. Simplest application, observe it. Amplitude of this wave is what? A. Another wave is what? 2A. Then Imax to Imin. I think so you can understand. A1 plus A2 by A1 minus A2 whole square. That you can understand. It's not a big issue. That is A plus 2A by 2A minus A whole square. You can write reverse also. That's not a big issue. Square term is there. So now that is 9:1 is the ratio of Imax to Imin. Simple application. But in the JEE mains or advanced papers, they are not giving like this. Equations also simple question they are giving like this. One more example, conceptual based. Observe it. The ratio of amplitudes of the two waves is in the ratio 4:3. The ratio of Imax to Imin is 4:3. Simple, no? 4 plus 3 by 4 minus 3 whole square. That is 49:1. 49:1. 4 plus 3. So that you can do it. It's not a big issue. Sir, sometimes they are giving reverse rate. Simple conceptual application. First I am introducing. At the end of the topic I will use multiple concepts. Simple conceptual models I am introducing to boost up you, to increase your confidence level. That is third example. They will give you like this. Imax to Imin is beta. Imax to Imin is beta. Then they can ask us like this. A1 by A2 is how much? Reverse way of asking question. Imax by Imin is equal to A1 plus A2 by A1 minus A2 whole square. That is A1 plus A2 by A1 minus A2 is equal to root beta. Using componendo dividendo, I think so you can understand. A1 by A2 is equal to root beta plus 1 by root beta minus 1. So this is the way of asking question in reverse order. I think so you can understand. First two examples is direct and another one is reverse way of attacking the bit. So that is about the smallest applications of Imax. Today's part you observed or not, I discussed with you generalized superposition of two waves. Next concept is like this. Sir, you are taking an equal amplitude. If they are equal amplitude, then how to superpose this? That we call it as coherent sources, interference and everything I will discuss in the next. Next class is concerned to coherent sources superimposition, YDSC experiment and everything we will discuss in the next part.